Hello everybody, I'm Christopher from China, Germany. Today here with the Cube T7, which actually is the very first 64-bit phablet or tablet with a Mediatek processor coming from China. This is a 7-inch tablet PC featuring the MT760 SoC, which is the tablet version of the MT6752 octa-core processor introduced for smartphones by Mediatek this year. So let's see how this one performs and if it is anything good. What you see here is the packaging of the Cube T7, and Cube actually went for the recycled cardboard box again, which they do with pretty much every device right now. This is kind of a trend and they continue with that. There's nothing much to see on the packaging except the Cube logo, the slogan "No Cube, no fun", and of course a little more information about the manufacturer on the rear of the box. Inside the box we find a little envelope containing a Cube VIP card, which actually is a coupon code for the Cube App Store. We have a warranty card, a user manual with color printed images, and a micro USB cable. Normally you would also get a charger with this tablet, but Cube for some reason didn't include that with my package, so I have to leave that aside. We quickly move on to the very device, and this is it, the Cube T7, and as you can see it's really more of a tablet than a phablet because of its sheer size, which, well, won't fit in most pockets at all. If you have big pockets it will fit, but it will still stand out towards the top. So what do we see here? We see a phone call speaker, we see a front camera, and there are also some sensors, but you can't see them here. If you're looking for soft touch buttons, they aren't existent here. Those are being displayed on the screen itself. So let's have a look around the rest of the housing, and as you can see this isn't made from metal, this is made from plastic or polycarbonate this time. Now some might be a little disappointed by that, but considering the price and the powerful SoC inside of there provided for this price, I think it's still okay. Plastic doesn't mean cheap feeling at all, and this is totally the case here. The tablet appears to be very tough, you can't bend it, nothing is squeaking or shaking or moving. It's a really high build quality considering that it's plastic, so it's really not bad at all. Let's have a look around the sides, and as you can see here we have a micro USB port on the lower side. On the left side we have a SIM tray which can take one single micro SIM card. We have a volume rocker, a power switch, and a micro SD slot and a headphone jack on the upper side. The rear actually is white and has a textured finish to it, which increases the grip inside your hands, preventing it from slipping out of your hands. We see one camera without a LED flash and some more information about the tablet, as well as a media speaker. So that's about the design. The tablet is weighing around 270 grams, which is quite a lot, but adds towards the tough feeling of this device. As mentioned before, the Cube T7 features a 7-inch panel which Cube claims to be made from JDI. I can't verify that, but let's just assume this is true. The resolution of the screen is 1920 by 1200 pixels, which actually is a little bit more than the usual 1080p we see in most phablets these days. And well, the screen isn't bad at all. It's an IPS panel, but it doesn't feature OGS. The only thing I dislike a little about it is that the contrast isn't that high. Usually you don't notice that, but if you pull the brightness up to 100% you definitely notice it. And the reason for this also is that the brightness is insane. I am at around 30% of brightness right now, and you can see everything on the screen, even though I have a very bright lamp shining on the tablet right now. So this definitely is a pro if you are outside on a sunny summer day, and well, will help you with the readability outside a lot. Regarding the colors, I have to say that they are pretty intense and very vivid. I like them. nothing to complain about here. And regarding the pixel density, there's also nothing to complain about. Just look at this. You can't see pixels at all with the naked eye, at least if you don't come very close to the screen. So that's definitely a pro again, and adds to the sharpness of the picture displayed by the panel. Let's have a look at the viewing angles, and of course you notice that they are a little bit worse than they could be if an OGS panel was used here, but they aren't bad in any way, so you have still a great IPS experience here. Regarding the digitizer, I was fairly impressed by this one. It's fairly sensitive and you don't have to put much pressure on it at all. It's enough if I put my finger on here, very gentle, and slide it around, and it will recognize every touch and without any input lag at all. I really like that, and it's a great display, I think, for the price. Next, let's talk about the hardware and the operating system. As I said, this tablet features the MT760 octa-core processor, which features 8 ARM Cortex A53 cores clocked at 1.7 GHz. Cube claims it to be 2 GHz, but that's not true actually. And the GPU used inside of there is a Mali T760 GPU. It comes with 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of internal memory, expandable with a microSD card of up to 128 GB, so that's quite a lot, and you shouldn't have any trouble with this one. Regarding the performance, I have to say that the Android 4.4.4 KitKat that is running on there is fairly well optimized by Cube and is running very smooth. As you can see here, there are no lags when scrolling through the menus. And well, it just is a buttery smooth user experience. And also if I do some heavier tasks like opening up a large website, even when doing so in multi-tab mode, there aren't any lags at all. Scrolling through large web pages is a breeze, switching to tabs is a breeze, multitasking is a breeze. This new Mediatek SoC really is powerful and a lot better than the old MT6592 SoCs. Regarding updates, Cube seems to have become better with this one, as during the testing period we've got 5 OTA updates, over-the-air updates. So that's definitely a pro. They are caring about their devices, and every single update brought a little improvement for the performance of the tablet. So I really like that, what Cube did here. Another pro is that the tab comes with a clean Android. There are pretty much no crapware or something, which again is a pro as it saves memory and you don't have to uninstall a lot of stuff or something. So both the operating system and the new Mediatek SoC are quite a good piece of kit, and I really like them both. This time I won't do any performance demo here in this video. I have done an extra video for that, so please look inside this channel and look for a video called MT6752/MT8752 performance demo, and there we will see a lot of games being played on the Cube T7 as well as some multitasking performance demos. As you have seen during the look around the tablet, the Cube T7 only features a single mono speaker, and this actually does mean that the audio quality isn't that good. They could have easily built in a good speaker inside of there, but they somehow didn't. It has a little bass playback, but it sounds really muffled and tends to overdrive if the volume is pulled to 100%. So it doesn't mean there is a lot of fun going on during music playing. You really should use headphones there, because the audio signal put out through the headphone jack is pretty insane. Very clear, very balanced, very intense. I really love that. It seems like Mediatek has built the same new audio solution they put inside the MT6595, which actually is Wolfson based, inside of the 64-bit chipsets, which means you have got kind of high-end audio quality through the headphone jack, which is definitely a pro when watching a movie on the tablet or listening to your favorite tracks. And now let me give you a little audio demo of the internal media speaker. The Cube T7 is meant to be a phablet, and this means that we have a lot of stuff going on here, including 2G, 3G and LTE reception. And let me tell you, LTE is working fairly well with this one, but it lacks support for LTE at 800 and 850 MHz, which means that you might and not be able to use LTE in certain areas. Here in Germany it's like more in those big cities there's no problem, but outside of the big cities they are using the 800 and 850 MHz frequencies, and their LTE isn't possible, unfortunately. But luckily 3G does work just as well, with a very good signal strength all the time, so this really isn't any issue in my opinion. What I also like is the audio quality during phone calls, even though most of you probably won't use this as a smartphone, but it's possible and it's working very well. What I also like is the Wi-Fi reception quality, which is insane. I can move through the whole house and the signal strength probably never does drop below 2 bars, and that's really a pro and something I didn't experience with a lot of devices before, and this is probably due to the LDS antennas that are being used inside the Cube T7. So they have put some large and high quality antennas inside of there, which definitely are a pro for the reception quality. Now the thing every one of you probably wants to know is how does GPS perform with the new 64-bit chipsets of Mediatek. Now, as a matter of fact, the MT6595 did already provide a very good GPS reception quality, and Mediatek really improved compared to the old chipsets they made, and is moving at a high-end level now. Now as for the MT8752, this one doesn't support GLONASS and Baidu, but only GPS and HGPS like the old Mediatek chipsets. But still, the reception quality has been greatly improved here. You get a fix within no time with a high signal strength and a good accuracy, and even inside the house or something, a fix is still possible. And what I also noticed is that the waypoints during tracking your activities, sport activities or whatever, aren't jumping anymore like it was the case with some older Mediatek chipsets, which means that GPS finally is working as it should and there aren't no issues at all anymore, which definitely is a pro and means we're moving into a new era of Chinese phones and tablets here, which just have a lot less issues than ever before. Regarding the cameras of the Cube T7, there isn't much to say. We have a 5 megapixel rear camera and a 2 megapixel front camera, and both of them aren't really anything good, as you might tell already by the missing LED flash on the rear. It is okay for quick snapshots, emergency snapshots, if you just want to take a picture of some piece of text that you want to remember, but it is nothing good for serious pictures because they are pretty blurred, faded out, and well, there's a lot of noise inside the images and they aren't really sharp. So taking pictures with this one isn't really fun at all, and just is another reason why most of you won't use this as a smartphone, but more as a tablet for surfing on your couch inside your home or playing some decent games. The battery inside the Cube T7 has a capacity of 3500 milliamps, and I actually verified that by taking the tablet apart, and it actually says 3500 milliamps on the battery itself. So that appears to be true, and while 3500 milliamps might not seem that much for a 7-inch tablet, let me tell you this is totally enough. Mediatek has always been promising high power saving capabilities of their SoCs, but it wasn't really the case till now. I think mostly because the software wasn't optimized enough. But now they seem to have made a huge step forward, which means that the SoC is much more power saving than any Mediatek SoC ever before. The battery life on there is insane. You can get a screen on time of 8 hours easily with this battery, and even playing Dead Trigger 2 on this tablet is possible for 3 to 4 hours, and you still have some battery life left after this. In real life, this means I personally, as a very demanding user, get around 2 to 3 days of battery life out of this tablet, which is pretty impressive in my opinion. And those of you taking care about their energy consumption might even reach up to 5 days with this device. And this is really good, I think, and something we all can look forward with future devices featuring this SoC and the phone version, the MT6752. So battery life is amazing, and Cube really did a great job here, as well as Mediatek. So here's my final conclusion about the Cube T7. Now, consider this one as a tech demo. It's actually the very first device featuring a Mediatek 64-bit SoC, and it really shows what this new SoCs can do. They really have a great performance while gaming, while using the operating system, any apps. It's just working extremely well. Modern Combat 5 is running like a charm on highest settings on this one, and I really love that. The tablet is priced at 150 to 170 euros depending on the shop right now, which might be a little expensive considering that we don't have a metal housing here, that we don't have an OGS display, and that the camera really sucks on here. But it still is a good tablet. There's no way around that. So what does this mean for you? If you want to be up to date at any cost, or just are curious and want to check out these new Mediatek SoCs right now as soon as possible, go and get the Cube T7. You won't regret it, I think. But if you want to get the most out of your buck, you probably should wait for the competitors to come up with new devices, maybe even wait for the smartphones from Xiaoyu and so on to appear on the market. Or maybe wait for the follow-up devices with these SoCs Cube is planning right now. You might get a better device or more stuff for your money in this case. So that's all from me right now. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope it was helpful for you. If you like what we are doing at China Germany, please make sure to subscribe here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. And well, I say thanks for watching. Bye, over and out.